स्वामिन् नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवाब्धौ मामुद्धरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या ऋज्व्यातिकारुण्य सुधाभिवृष्ट्या स्वामिन्नमस्ते 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 ज्ञानस्वरूपं निजभावयुक्तं आनन्दमानन्दकरं प्रसन्नं योगीन्द्रमीड्यं भवरोगवैद्यं श्रीमद्गुरुं नित्यमहं नमामि श्रीमद्गुरुं नित्यमहं नमामि नित्याय सत्याय चिदात्मकाय नव्याय भव्याय परात्पराय शुद्धाय बुद्धाय निरञ्जनाय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय। जय गुरु, जय गुरु, जय गुरु. The topic that has been given to me, it has been announced many times. What is it? Enriching the mind with spiritual qualities. Now, the question should very spontaneously arise in the mind. What are these spiritual qualities? Before that, what is spirituality exactly? What are the qualities? And why it is necessary to enrich the mind with spiritual qualities? Now, all of you here, I think you are inclined to spiritual knowledge. You like to hear about it and you feel enlightened. Still, why such a topic that spiritual qualities are to be acquired, imbibed, cultivated, and not only that, with all that, the mind should be enriched by these qualities. So, the spiritual quality is the quality of a spiritual person who wants to achieve or attain spiritual knowledge. He must have some qualities. And this spiritual knowledge or spiritual wisdom, it is an enlightenment of the mind and intelligence by which one starts feeling that the limited I-ness or the am-ness that we have, that I am this, my name is this, my age is this, these are my family members, my house is there, how much money I have, how much qualification I have, what all I have achieved. This one identity that we all have differently, from that limited identity, which is changeful, with every day we decay, our age increases, whatever qualifications we have does not matter anymore. The posts we hold doesn't matter anymore. Health declines, And ultimately, even if you have lot of money, maybe lot of prestige you had, it has no meaning. The body dies. And before that, there may be disease. There may be a lot of sufferings in the life, along with certain happinesses. So, the spiritual wisdom, it is very different. It is very different from the academic wisdom that we have. We all have studied in some subject or other. Some have mastered it, done PhD, and we have made a career out of it. But spiritual wisdom makes us know about ourselves, who we are. This limited amness, the I-ness that I feel and so, am I that? Or is there something else? Who is that? So the spiritual wisdom enlightens one and takes one from that limitedness to unlimitedness, from a smallness, a narrowness, to an expansiveness, where one understands that my real identity is not this body, mind, and intelligence complex, which we called the I. Everybody has a name and form. The real identity is not that. The identity, I feel that this is my identity, but that identity is changeful. It changes with time. It changes with the change of mind, change of intelligence. Suppose we think at the age of 5, the body was something. At the age of 15, the body had grown a little. Like this, at every age, the body has undergone change. Similarly, the mind has undergone change. The mind was like a child's mind. As it grew, it became a little more deeper, could understand much more. Emotions started. Many of the traits started, becoming more and more prominent and dominant, quite emphatic in certain places. Intelligence also changes. The manner in which we used to understand life or even any subject, intelligence became sharper. We are able to understand more and more. So the body, mind, intelligence complex that we feel that I am is constantly undergoing change. But spiritual wisdom tells us that is not your real identity. The body, mind, and intelligence, ego, everything will change. What does not change is the I within you, the consciousness within you, which enlivens you, which makes you act, talk, walk, speak, do everything that you are able to do. And that real identity is changeless self, I, what is called by I or self. And that I does not change. That is the real identity. Now, we don't feel it. The spiritual wisdom constantly tells us, see, where you are listening to many lectures, this is the only essence of it is this, that I am not the body. I am the soul. I am the self, which is changeless, which is eternal, which is imperishable, which is unaffected. But in actual life, what do we see? We are constantly affected. We are constantly changing. So, although our real identity is changeless and unaffected, fearless, we find that in actual interactive life, we neither remember it nor we are able to act accordingly. So, the spiritual wisdom that we get from our gurus, from the scriptures, it constantly enlightens us, telling that this is, in essence, you are. That is, your real identity is changeless. And that changeless consciousness is witnessing all the changes in your mind, your body, your intelligence, and your ego, and the changes in the whole world. That is, the self within is changeless. And everything else, the body, mind, intelligence, and the world outside of the self, everything changes. So, in short, we know all this. This is the knowledge we have been hearing. Some may be new to this knowledge, some may be for years hearing this knowledge. Now, the question is, we are hearing, we are reading, we are very much given to it, we are very much interested. But still, the question should come, in spite of knowing all this, why is it that I'm still anxious? Why is it that I'm still fearful? Why is it that by some behavior or other, or some happening or other, by people, places, situations, I get very much disturbed. I become restless. I'm peaceless. Why is it so? See, all of us think, and all of us mostly, we have grown up with devotion or worship of God. We have been going to the temples, we have been worshipping, we have been praying, we have been meditating, chanting many shlokas and stotras. And even now, I have seen those who are in the spiritual path, many of them say that I meditate, but I am not able to give up the prayers that I have been doing from my childhood. Very good. Actually, it is very good. But what should be the result of that prayer? Should I not become fearless? Should I not become less anxious? Should I not be able to handle situations without nervousness, without stress? Why is it not happening? So that questions should come to the mind. And when such questions come to the mind, what happens? Normally the question comes, who is this God whom I am worshipping? An invisible God. Or we think that God is in this image or in this idol, and we worship and pray. Who is he? What is my relationship with him? What can he give us? If I am in misery, I go to the temple, I pray. If I am in trouble, I may cry and weep, but God cannot give me any reply. I don't get any reply from the image or the idol. So who is he? Also, the question may come that in this changeful world, everything is changing. Is there anything changeless which I can experience? What is that? What is that changeless thing which will relieve me, liberate me from all kinds of affectedness, agitations, and disturbances? So that should be the, I tell you, all of you, that these questions should arise. Most of you, we are given to some kind of spiritual or devotional routines and practices. Maybe some are very seriously doing, some may be busy, so they are doing off and on. But everybody wants to have peace in life, happiness in life, stability of mind in life. So if you really want so, then these questions should also come. The routines that I am doing every day, with that routine, am I growing towards this peacefulness and restfulness, unaffectedness, slowly? And if I am not, then what is the process? The process is, however much you hear, however much you like to hear, however much you study the books or the scriptures, when we hear, we feel that, it's so easy. Everything has become clear. The Swamiji's 3 days lectures, many who came to do pranam to me after doing pranam to Swamiji told me, oh, he spoke so well. Everything became so clear. After that, what? Should we not be able to implement that clarity of knowledge in our lives to become what? We are wanting nothing. We are wanting only peace in life, happiness in life, stability of the mind, unaffectedness in life. So, only listening and getting very excited or ecstatic by the listening or reading is not enough. All our scriptures, whichever scripture you take, say, I'm talking, Swamiji spoke about Bhagavad Gita, I'll also be referring to Bhagavad Gita, other scriptures, Bhagavatam, Upanishads, wherever you go, you will find that there are spiritual qualities which have to be imbibed and cultivated so that the mind can retain this knowledge. Not only retain, mind will find it very easy to apply it in one's own life. Clear? So, this is something which we must give our attention to. That is, we have to work. Suppose your children, you send them to school, they are studying there, and you just leave them. Don't you see whether they are making effort to do their homework, their classwork? Are they doing well in their exams? And you want your children to give hard work, effort, and you wish that your children will do well. Similarly, all should make some effort, give some time, wishing. So there should be a wish, a wholesome wish, and yearning should be there that, oh, the spiritual wisdom will relieve me from my anxiety, my affectedness, etc., will give me peace and happiness. But the methods that have been told, I have to make an effort to see that I cultivate these qualities so that why the qualities should be cultivated. Now listen. You know, what did I say? And you know that, all of you know that I'm not the body, I'm the soul. The soul is changeless. That is, our real identity within is the changeless self. And what did our scriptures say? The scriptures have told us, vadanti tat tattva vidaha tattvam yad jnana madvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. That the presence or the consciousness is one. We may see plurality. So many people, all are different. So many objects are there, all are different. But we are generally used to devotion to God. And what do we say? God is all pervading. And now we are saying self, soul. The self or soul also is all pervading. Or sometimes you will hear the word Brahman. That is also all pervading. So are there differences? Is self, Atma, Paramatma, Bhagavan, are these words different? No. Our scriptures say that vadanti tat tattvavidaha. Vadanti means they say. Who say? Tattvavidaha. The one who have realized this spiritual wisdom or spiritual knowledge, they are called tattvavit, and tattvavidaha is plural. Those who have realized this spiritual wisdom, they say, tattvam yad jnanam advayam. This tattva or the knowledge is the jnana, the knowledge of what? Advayam. That is, it is the knowledge of the one. One without a second. One means what? One. When we say one, then 1, 2, 3 all come to the mind, right? That is why it is always said one without a second. There is no second. It is all one. So, the knowledge of the self, knowledge of God. God is also one. Brahman is one. Paramatma one. Self one. All is one. One consciousness. Everything is the same. Only in the name and form they are displayed. This one consciousness gets displayed in different manner. That is what we see in reality in our lives. Tattvam yad jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So, Brahman, whether it is Brahman, you call it Brahman. You want to meditate on Brahman, it's okay. You want to meditate on some form of God, it may be Shiva, it may be Krishna, it may be Vishnu, it may be Kartikeya, it may be anything, Ganesha, whatever form you think, that is God, Bhagavan, or the self, Paramatma, all are same. Their characteristics are the same. Get it? Now, there should not be any difficulty. So now, not only that, so the self within me is unaffected. It is imperishable. It is eternal. It is changeless. Compared to what? Compared to everything which is non-self. Which is non-self? My body, because myself is different from the body. Body is changeful. Mind is changeful. The intelligence is changeful. The ego is changeful. The world is changeful. So those are a non-self. So this enlightenment which spiritual wisdom gives us, it tells us that this is the self and these are non-self. That is the what is this real identity in us. It is changeless, and that is why we are not knowing it. We are not knowing it. Though it is we are the real identity, changeless one, changeless identity, we find that in a sense we are constantly getting disturbed. Means what? If we are real identity, our real identity is changeless, we should not get disturbed. Is it not? Any disturbance means a change. So why is it that we are getting disturbed? Why is it that we are sometimes angry and sometimes peaceful? Why is it that sometimes we are very anxious and sometimes we are not? Why is it that sometimes we feel hurt by somebody having spoken wrongly to me, and sometimes we are very happy when somebody praises me? So why these changes are taking place? If I am the I, which is unaffected, why these are happening? These are happening because mistakenly we are considering that I am this body, mind, and intelligence. I am getting connected to or identified with the changeful body, mind, and intelligence, not remembering that I am the changeless one. Shall I give an example? All of you are here. You are listening to me. Every day you come, every day you go. Whether you are listening, whether after listening you will be driving home, will you ever forget your name? Will you ever forget your parents' name? Will you ever forget where you belong to? Where is your house? You may be having a very high post in your office, very important person, doing a lot of very work where your mind has to be engrossed. But do you forget where is your house? No. Just look at it. But what we really are, we are constantly forgetting. Do you remember? Having heard this, I am not the body, my real identity is the self, the soul, the changeless. Do you remember it? Why? Why not? Because for so many years of our lives, we have not been taught to remember it. We have never been told in our schools, our colleges, our universities, wherever, that see, your real identity is this. You must remember that. And if you can hold on to that, in all situations, whatever situation comes, favorable, unfavorable, likable, dislikable, honorable, dishonorable, anything, you will not be affected. Nobody has taught us. So when we are listening, unless you make an effort to remember it occasionally, you will just keep on listening. It will not remain with you. Do you get me? So what do you have to do? Make some effort of remembering it. You will forget it, no doubt, because we have not been habituated to remember. But as soon as you remember, give a short break and remember, oh, I forgot. But actually, I should not be affected by this because I am the unaffected soul. Is it not easy? Not easy. Not easy. I think that you have been, those who have had children and those who have brought up their children, you cannot say that it's not easy. Did you not expect from your children best of results? Then why do you say, and have you not studied yourselves, got educated to do well in your profession or on your studies? Did you not give effort? That means you are lazy. You do not want to give effort. You just want to come and listen for that time. You want to feel it very nice, very nice, very nice, very clear. Swamiji, you have spoken very well. What is it going to do to you? If not 100%, at least 10% you must take. So, now in Bhagavad Gita, I am taking Bhagavad Gita, and maybe I will give some reference to some other. In 12th chapter, Krishna has told Bhakta Lakshanas. We feel that we are Bhaktas. We are great Bhaktas. We do worship, we go to temples, we go for pilgrimage, we give puja on certain occasions, and according to one's own means, they will give puja for this much, that much, right? And we feel that we have done our duty as Bhaktas. We know so many shlokas we have chanted, morning we chant these, evening we chant these. So finished. We are Bhaktas. But we do not see what Krishna has to say about a Bhakta. So in 12th chapter, Krishna has given the Lakshanas of Bhaktas, whom Krishna likes, whom Krishna says that you are a Bhakta, very dear to me, and given many qualities. The qualities in 12th chapter, I have just taken them during Guru Purnima. If you want to hear, you can hear the Guru Purnima lectures. Now, those are beginning with Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. That is, you cannot have any kind of dislike or hatred for any creature in this world. So, are you a Bhakta? Just assess. Nobody can raise a hand that I do not have any kind of dislike towards anybody. Then, Maitraha Karuna Evacha, that you should be friendly, you should have daya, compassion, mercy. We have. We are friendly to some. We are friendly and we have compassion and mercy to some. Not all. Those whom we like, we'll do enough for them. Even if it is midnight, if some friend comes, he will make food for the friend and give. But suppose you do not like a person, keeps on coming midnight, then I think first day you may still, give some food, make some food, give some snacks or whatever. But not every day. Then, Maitra Karuna Evacha, Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Sama Dukkha Sukha Kshami. So you should not have mindness. Our sufferings in this life is the mindness, the possessiveness. We cling to things which we like, cling to people whom we like, and their happiness and their unhappiness affect us. So nirmamaha and nirahankaraha. You should not have pride, ego. Sama dukkha sukha. Dukkha and sukha you should take equally. I think nobody can say that you cannot understand this after yesterday's Swamiji's talk. And all of you smiled and laughed and nodded your head. It's very clear, it is very clear. But it doesn't become clear. It may be clear in the mind, when it comes to actual application, actual situation, you still find that you are not able to take dukkha, whereas sukha, you are always wanting to have sukha. Kshami, forgiveness, excuse. If people do something bad, wrong, behavior, words, anything, be excusing. But generally we feel that we should give back. Say if somebody has spoken a bad word, we want to give back another. If you have not been able to give back, we'll go home and think that we could have said this also. We could have said that also. It did not come to my mind at the right time. And you'll wait for another time occasion when you can give back another hitting word. So then I'm not going through. There are many, 35 lakshanas are there. And out of that one is santushtas satatam. You can remember these. This spiritual path, the spiritual journey. We hear about the spiritual aim, which is very high. As we do not know how God looks, we have given forms. We do not know the invisible God. Actually, this whole world is the idol of God. But we don't think like this. We go to a particular mountain or hill, cut some stone, cut it and give it a shape, install with lot of rituals in a temple, then we feel it is God. But seeing that hill or the mountain, we have not felt it is God. This whole God is all pervading. So everywhere He is. Brahman is self, is everywhere in everything at all times. This has to be remembered. Then you will remain Nitya Yukta. That is, constantly you are as if you are surrounded by God, as if you are embraced by God. I think if we can feel like this, we can make an effort to feel like this. We'll feel protected. Anxiety will go. Ego will go. Many things, many dislikes and hatreds will go. So, now I have lost this thing. What I was saying, I forgot. Santushtas satatam. So, santushtas satatam. Whatever you have, be contented. It's not that you should not work for more, but see whether you are working only for a desire. Actually, you don't need it. It's quite enough to live. But if you have to work to make a good living, keeping the family well, you must work. You have responsibilities, you have duties. But in the process, whatever comes in life, we must be santushtaha, that is satisfied, contented. So like this, many things are there. Now, when we worship, I was telling you that when we worship, we are not able to talk with God. We can just pray. We do not get a reply from God. So what happens? Shankaracharya has written a sloka which says that for many janmas, if a devotee worships God with love, respect, dearness, and Shraddha, according to the Vedic injunctions, according to what has been told in our scriptures, then seeing the devotion of the devotee, God becomes satisfied with him. So when God becomes satisfied, santushtaha isha swayam. This shloka we chant generally during our satsangs. It talks about the Guru. So after this, when God sees and He feels that this person has been worshipping me, now it is time for me to give him knowledge. So what happens? He then appears before the person in the form of a human being who is the Guru. You understand? Driggocharasan Prabhu. He comes as Sakshat Shri Guru Rupametya Kripaya Driggocharasan. He then comes in front in the form of a Guru and then gives him Tattvam Sadhu Vibodhya Tarayatitan. He tells him about the scriptures, about the soul. All along, the devotee has been worshipping. The devotee has been worshipping and praying, not knowing, in spite of my prayers, in spite of my doing all rituals very well, still why I am gripped by fear, still why I am gripped by disturbances and agitations and afflictions in the mind, still why I am anxious, still why do I fear death. When these questions were there, that idol could not reply. Now the Guru or the Mahatma or the Sadguru, he comes and starts telling him about the soul, about the spiritual knowledge. What is the knowledge? That actually you are the changeless soul. If you hold on to it, if you constantly dwell upon your real identity, you will not be affected. But if you are constantly dwelling upon your changeful identity, not knowing that you are the soul which is changeless, imperishable, you will be having suffering. So he says all these things, and then he gives him the knowledge. Now, what is the knowledge? He says that, see, it is not only that you are the changeless soul, you are the changeless self. Your real identity is that. Everything is the same self. It is not that X is having one self, another is having another self, another is having another self. All self is the same, and that is called Brahman. That is the universal self. So what do our Upanishads say? Our Upanishads say, Brahmai Vedam Amritam Purastad Brahma Paschad Brahma Dakshinataschotarena Adhaschodhvam cha prasritam Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtham. This is from Mundakopanishad. What it is saying? It's saying, Brahmai Vedam Amritam Purastad. This immortal Brahman is extending in the front, everywhere. It is all pervading. So just imagine, when you listen, listening, Shravana it is called, listening will be very, very beneficial, and also it will be correct if while you are listening, you remain focused and you start doing reflection. So what it is saying, Brahman is in the front. So just imagine, whatever I am saying, say, am I in my front? All of you are there. So though you are coming in forms, names and forms, different people, it is the same soul everywhere, same Brahman everywhere. It's a very crude example is that so many things are here which is being powered by the electricity, right? There is a bulb, there is a fan, there is a camera going on, all those, so many items. So what is the common thing here? Electricity. But a fan is different, the lights also are different, all are having different forms, names. It is something like that. It's an example. So similarly, the same Brahman, the same consciousness is everywhere, and the forms are different. It is like a garland. Garland is, see, generally we have a garland, there will be a thread, over that maybe some stones. Here, the garland and the stones, they're of the same material. It's a garland of this consciousness where those who are having different forms, they are also of the same soul. So it says that Brahmai Vedam Amritam Purastad Brahma, Paschad Brahma, backside also is Brahman, Dakshinataschotarena. That is, on the south also it is, and on the north also it is Brahman. So everywhere is Brahman. Adhaschordhvam, below and up. That is also Brahman. And Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtham. This universal is verily the supreme Brahman. You know, it is very good to by heart these slokas. What you can do when it, I always say, people say, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. I don't think that you are as busy or maybe busy, but even if you are busy, I always say that there are some moments exclusively for us when we take bath. Nobody does come to you to to disturb you when you are taking bath, when you are taking wearing dress. You are all alone. But where is your mind? What does it think? Does it think this? Does it dwell on Brahman? Does it dwell on the real identity? At least for a little while, that, oh, I am the self. See, the whole day, 2 days, I didn't even think like this. Only I am thinking of so many things which are perishables, which will not remain. Our problem is that we are constantly thinking of the past, what has happened, keep them in the mind and feel sorrowful. Or we will be constantly thinking of the future. I will do this, or suppose I do this, suppose this happens, suppose this does not happen. Our minds are only on this. But those thoughts are only giving you suffering, anxiety, stress. It will not do you good. So why not make a habit of thinking certain things which will make your mind peaceful? So this is one shloka, 2 lines. Would you like to chant? Brahmai Vedam Amritam Purastad Brahma Paschad Brahma Dakshinatah Dakshinataschottarena 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 Adhaschordhvam cha prasritam Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtham Brahmai Vedam Amritam Purastad Brahma Paschad Brahma Dakshinataschottarena Adhaschordhvam cha prasritam Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtham Brahmai Vedam Amritam Purastad Brahma Paschad Brahma Dakshinataschottarena Adhaschordhvam cha prasritam Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtham. See, even if you don't know anything, you remember that this immortal Brahman, Amritam Brahman, this is extending to the front. So easy to remember. Extending to the back, extending downwards, extending upwards, extending on the right, and extending on the left. It's enveloping me constantly. I am being embraced by Brahman, and I am the Brahman. So even if you don't remember and by heart the sloka, at least this you can think. What is the difficulty in thinking this? Think it often, whenever you can. And then this is from Mundakopanishad and from Mandukya it says, once you understand this, tattvam adhyatmikam drishtva, tattvam drishtva tu bahyatah, tattvi bhutah tadaramaha, tattvat aprachyuto bhavet. Once you know this, see, all of you have the knowledge. You are hearing, reading, listening, and maybe contemplating, all of you, and you are interested. So I think that you have the knowledge of the self. Many people do not even know what is the Atma, what is the self. Nothing they know. They go to temples, they worship God. But you know. So once you know, then understanding this, that this reality is within me, outside me, at the back, this side, that side, everywhere. So, seeing, remembering, experiencing, trying to experience this tattvam, that I am the self, you should become one with it. That is, you will find that now, initially, you will have to remember. Slowly, what will happen? You will remember automatically, spontaneously. Like a mother, when a child is born, initially for 1 or 2 days, the mother will think, I have become a mother. Then, after that, will anybody have to tell the mother that you have to do these things for your child? Mother will automatically do it. Because in her system, it is there that I am the mother or I am the father. Similarly, when you start thinking that, oh, I am the Brahman and everywhere is Brahman, and you remember it occasionally, you will find that automatically it is when you are quiet that thought is coming to your mind. And what will happen? You will revel in that. You will feel happy thinking of that and never fall from that tattva. Never fall from that tattva. That is, again giving the mother's example. The mother, once mother, remains the mother. Never falls from that motherhood. Even the child goes away somewhere to a distant country, working there, got married. The mother's mind always will be with the child. Never falls. I think it's a very good example. Very good example. Similarly, why should we make an effort to do that? What Krishna says is, Sanjay, can you show that? 6.22. Krishna says, 6.22. So Krishna has been telling, in the beginning, in the second chapter, he's telling about the self. What are the characteristics that you are the self? The body only gets destroyed. The self does not get destroyed, and many things. Then he talks about samatva. Then he talks about how you should work without getting, possessive, without getting into a sangha, attachment, and many other concepts he has described. How you can become sattvic, how you can have disciplined, how you can restrain your senses, mind, etc. All these things he has described in the 18 chapters, taking us to the greatest height of this knowledge, and then telling us in many ways how you can be like that. It's not that Krishna has told Arjuna and it's over. Krishna told Arjuna Arjuna heard it with so much of one-pointedness, maybe in 2 hours. But constantly he was doing reflection, and that is why Arjuna, who was absolutely grief-stricken, who had fallen down, who had sat down, left his weapons, gets up and gets ready for fighting the world. And here we should constantly go through his Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a very good book. It's a book of life. Those who do not read it regularly, as a mother I am telling you, please read it regularly. You will find that your whole life, it will become beautiful. It will become confident, and it will become so much full of love for others. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. It's really full of love, full of expansion, full of so much of, a feeling of oneness with everybody, as if everybody belongs to you. At the same time, you will understand what is the right way of working. What is the right way of working without getting anxious, without getting bound, and never feeling that you will be losing anything. So, he says in the 6th chapter, I was saying, please make a connection. I'm saying that the spiritual qualities, your mind should imbibe the spiritual qualities, because the aim is this. Aim is self-realization, we say. What is the self-realization? Neither we know the self. Though our self, I am the self. What is that self? We don't know. What is the realization? We don't know. So, step by step, to reach there, we have to imbibe and cultivate the qualities of the self. Qualities of the self. So, in Bhagavad Gita and all other scriptures, many qualities have been talked about. And those qualities, at least a few, if you can try to imbibe, you'll find that all others, you are also growing in them. So, the aim, if you remember only this, I think it will be very good. What does it say? Yam labdhva chaparam labham. Say it. Manyate nadhikam tataha.
Manyate nadhikam tataha.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
Yam labdhva chaparam labham.
Yam labdva chaparam labham.
Manyate nadhikam tataha.
Manyate nadhikam tataha.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena.
Yasmin sthito na dukkhena.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
Gurunapi vichalyate.
So this says that yam labdhva, attaining or having gained that state which Krishna is telling, and that state can be attained. See, we are hearing about that state, no doubt. But if we want to achieve that, we have to go through some discipline, some pursuit. But once you attain that, what will you gain? Having gained which, one considers nothing else as superior to it. Do you want such a state? Huh? Here now, however much we gain something, we feel something else is to be gained. Something more. We are not satisfied. This will take us to a state where we will feel we have got everything, and nothing more, nothing superior to it is there to be attained. And not only that, then it says, established in which, that is, yasmin sthitaha, established or remaining in which state, na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate, That is guruna dukkhena api na vichalyate. Established in which one is not perturbed by even the most severe affliction. Do you want that kind of a state or not? Everybody wants. We may be having good family, good children, good grandchildren. Everybody is well settled. Nothing has gone wrong in the life. Say, suppose that life is like this. Still, we are anxious about the last days. Disease and how the body will fall. Will the body have lot of suffering, pain? Will there be somebody to look after? Will I be giving trouble to my children? Will there be anybody to look after me, or what will happen? We are anxious about that. For us and for our near and dear ones and known ones. So, this is promising, Krishna is promising that if you try to go towards that state and attain it, then nothing else you will feel like attaining anymore, because that is the supreme. Also remaining where you will not be disturbed or perturbed or afflicted by any kind of adversity in life. I think this alone is enough to take this holy book in hand. And some people just do puja. Every day they will keep a flower on it. Not that. Read it. Read it. Understand it. There are some portions which is a little difficult. Leave that. I would say wherever, this from 2nd chapter onwards to the 18th chapter, every chapter has so many qualities to be gained. So many qualities. And when I started it, I started very young. I used to be very, I would read. Later I understood that there are, in scriptures it is written, when you read, you must immediately do reflection, manana. Manana should also go on. It's not that you just listen. So later I understood that I used to do that. So reading Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha, it comes in the 2nd chapter. I thought, oh my goodness, can there be a state like this? Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha means beyond likes and anger and fear. That is, you have transcended, and there is a state where you have transcended your likes, anger and fear. Oh, can there be a state like this? So I was young and thought that, oh, that is a very good state, so I must have it. So that is also another thing. Just like when you see some good dress, good jewelry, good bag, good this, you feel like taking it. Here also, when good qualities are seen or read about, there should be a feeling in the mind that, oh, can I have it? How to have it? So my question to Swamiji, when I had not joined the ashram, I used to go to meet Swamiji in Jamshedpur. We were in Kharagpur. 2 hours journey we used to go. So I asked Swamiji, how to become pure? He said, you love purity and purity will be yours. You love any quality and the quality will be yours. So I said once, Swamiji, I want to become like you. So he laughed, as he laughs, Then he said, what are the qualities in me that you want to have? So at that time I said that your love for everybody and your ananda, the joy that you radiate and the love with which you embrace everybody. So somebody said, you love any quality, whichever quality you want to acquire, love that quality and that quality will be yours. And that is true. That is true. If you really want to have the quality, then what will happen in our own day-to-day life? If I feel an aim that I will love everybody, I will not criticize anybody, say I will not criticize anybody, then in our day-to-day life you will find if even mentally I have criticized, I'll feel that I've fallen from that love. Similarly, we can keep goals, goals and targets. So you are all modern people. I am old now. So goals should be kept that, okay, I will bring about this quality. These qualities are very, very harmful. Fault finding, blaming, criticizing, and then judgmental. We come to judge one judgment immediately about others. These things are very harmful for the mind. It agitates the mind. And in this, that I was just now reading out that Brahmai Vedam Amritam, I read out, I made you chant also. And the other one I did not make you chant, but he said, when the tattva is known, that I am the self, I am changeless, I am imperishable, I am unaffected, remain in that and don't fall from it. So when we think like this, that I should not fall, then we have to be very introspective to see how is my behavior, my thought, my speech. Even if we are not showing in outside I behave very well, but mentally I am criticizing and blaming. Maybe I have not said anything. So one must try to become pure and purer. Why? Because to our real identity being the self, the consciousness which is pure, which is self-effulgent, Sat Chit Ananda. It is self-effulging joy is there. In our daily worldly life, we feel we get joy from outside objects, outside people, objects, places, situations. But we do not look into ourselves where the Atma is actually like a fountain sending joy. We don't look into it. We are looking outside. And those joys are short-lived. The joys which we get from objects, we get, and after some time it is over. Maybe for some joys will remain for a long time, but still it will be over. But this joy, which is due to our own inside, our own Atma, it is always there. It is just coming out like a fountain. And we should be kridati nandati swayam. We should rejoice in them, rejoice in it, sport in it. And nirantara ananda rasena triptaha. We should rejoice and sport in that joy, looking within ourselves, saying what? Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha. Because we have got that joy over which no other joy can give me more happiness. So we rejoice in that, we sport in that. And what happens? Nirantara means ceaselessly. Ananda rasa, that ananda rasa, ananda joy, delight. Rasa that nectarine juice. That nectarine juice of ananda, it just comes out and fills us and makes us what? Triptaha, contented. That is why we feel yam labdva chaparam labham, aparam labham. Cha aparam means any other. Any other labha means gain, is not superior to this. This is what we feel. So, but the fact is that this knowledge is there. Our identity is there. But we get identified with the body and we keep on forgetting. And why do we forget? Because our mind goes to various things in the outside world. Just like, suppose there is a vessel, very nicely we have kept a brass vessel or a glass vessel which is shining, clean water, we have kept a pebble inside it, the pebble will be seen. If you look like this, pebble will be seen. If you look like this, sometimes you can see your own face. But suppose we gave a little movement to the water, what will happen? The pebble will not be seen in its proper figure. Even if we look, we will not be able to see our face properly. Suppose we put some mud into it, then not at all. Nothing will be seen. Suppose there is a mirror. When the mirror is very well polished, you can see yourself. Suppose the mirror has some dust, you won't be able to see yourself properly. You have to wipe away the dust and then see. It happens, no, in the bathroom sometimes if you have not put the exhaust fan, the mirror becomes absolutely hazy. Then you have to wipe it to see your face. So here also, in the mind, our identity is there. We are the self. There is no doubt about it. But the mind is constantly disturbed and agitated by all other desires, all other thoughts, and it becomes dirty by the desires, possessiveness, ego, and all that. So what is already there, we are not able to, and that cannot be revealed. That doesn't get revealed to us. This is the way we can say. You understand? Suppose we can make the mind very calm and restful, then what will happen? It will be revealed. It is already there. So for a spiritual person, one who is interested in spirituality, one who wants to progress to this state, in one day you cannot progress. For anybody to become a doctor, a professor, an engineer, how much we had to study? And for doctors, so many years of practice. So you have to give that time. But for our academic studies, we had an aim that I want to become this. Even when you are in a work, you feel that I want to grow further and hold better and better posts. So there is an aim. So if we have an aim to have this yam lagdhva chaparam labham state, then slowly we should purify our mind and intelligence. That is why the spiritual qualities are necessary. And in Bhagavad Gita, in the 2nd chapter, Sthita Prajna Darshanam, there are some spiritual qualities. Then 13th chapter, there are some qualities. 14th chapter, there are qualities. Then Gunatita Lakshanas are there. And in all chapters, something is there. So if you start reading the book, say maybe 2 slokas one day or 4 slokas one day, and think about it and see where you stand. Are these qualities mine? If not, can I be a little conscious, little alert to achieve these qualities? Like that, we must, and you will find it is so interesting. I can tell you, because I'm telling everything from my experience, my dear children. It's my experience. I'm not telling you just like that. It's my experience. It becomes a very, very interesting adventure. You will find that, oh, today I became very loving to everybody. Next day you will find that, no, some kind of dislike was there for somebody. Okay, again try. So you should take it with lot of enthusiasm. There should be enthusiasm and not just wish. If you have just wish, then it becomes an occupation. Someday you will do, someday you will not do. But if you have in yearning and enthusiasm, it becomes part of your life. And it will be very, very interesting path. So I thought that I will take the qualities from 13th chapter, okay? And there are 20 qualities. Every day we will chant just 3 days so that you will be able to understand the qualities, at least remember some of them, and I will explain to you what are these qualities so that very easily you can make a pursuit of it in your coming days. At least I hope so. I don't desire. If you don't do, then it's also okay. I am talking about with my own joy about this. Actually, I feel very, what to say, I cannot choose topics. So before every program, Namrata will be behind me. We have to send the topic. So sometimes I say, you give any topic. So this time this topic has been given. And Guru Purnima, it was who is a devotee and Bhakta Lakshana, something like that. But I really enjoyed talking about that. And this also, I think, at least I will enjoy talking. And I will be very happy if some of you at least take up some qualities, not the 20, but I tell you, if you at least take up 4 or even 2, you will find that they are very iterative. If you grow into the others also, because every quality will ultimately depend on you remembering that you are the self. You understand? That you are the self, that you are unaffected, that you are fearless. If you remember that, and say take the whatever, we'll just now read them, you will find that all are getting enhanced without knowing. Everything will get enhanced. So that is a very interesting thing also. So shall we read the slokas? Amanitvamadambhitvam
Amanitvamadambhitvam
ahimsa kshantirarjavam
ahimsa kshantirarjavam
acharyopasanam shaucham
acharyopasanam shaucham
स्थैर्यमात्म विनिग्रहः
स्थैर्यमात्म विनिग्रहः
इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम्
इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम्
अनहङ्कार एव च
अनहङ्कार एव च
जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि
जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि
दुःख दोषानुदर्शनम्
दुःख दोषानुदर्शनम्
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः
पुत्रदारगृहादिषु
पुत्रदारगृहादिषु
नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम्
नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम्
इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
मयि चानन्ययोगेन
मयि चानन्ययोगेन
भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी
भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी
विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम्
विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम्
अरतिर्जनसंसदि
अरतिर्जनसंसदि
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम्
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम्
तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम्
एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम्
अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा
अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा.
So we'll go by the meanings. So first is amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atma vinigraha. So what is amanitvam? Just simple meaning is sublimation of pride. We gain lot of pride as we grow up in many things. We feel that I'm qualified, I'm intelligent, I can cook well, or I'm very much liked by everybody. So many kinds of pride is there. Adambhitvam. Adambhitvam is non-ostentation. Then ahimsa, non-hurting. Shantihi, tolerance or forgiveness. Arjavam, straightforwardness. Acharyopasanam, adoring and serving the teacher, the guru. Shaucham, cleanliness of body and mind, stairyam, stability and steadfastness, atma vinigraha, self-control or self-restraint. That will include restraint of the senses and the mind. Then in second, that is now the ninth one. This was 13.8. This is 13th chapter. We are taking from 8th to 12th sloka. So the ninth sloka is Indriyartheshu Vairagyam. Indriyartheshu, Indriya is the sensory, Indriyartheshu is sensory objects. Indriyartheshu Vairagyam is not being passionate about the sensory objects. Now we have got 5 senses, and each sense is going towards its corresponding object. Now, if we do not restrain the senses, then what will happen? We'll do whatever we like. From childhood, we are told that we cannot do. You should always be moderate. So this is very important that we do not we do not become slave to our indriyas, the sense organs, but we have restrained over them. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. We will explain all these things, and as I'll tell again and again, you will find all these things are looking as though simple qualities. Many people have many qualities, many virtues. How is it different from spiritual qualities? Say, ahimsa. We are all told that you should be kind to people, we should not be hurting to people, right? So why is it brought under this category? Here you will find everything has to be associated with the knowledge that I am the self. I cannot hurt anybody even through thought. Because of what? I am the self and everybody is the same self. Say, I am eating. Sometimes the teeth bites the tongue. Do we scold the tongue? No. Why? Why don't we scold the tongue or the teeth? That why did you bite the tongue? See, it is bleeding. Or we are scratching here and the finger goes into the eye. We don't scold the finger. That why did you hurt the eye? Why? Because it is I. The tongue is also I. My teeth is also I. My finger is also I. Everything I. So when we start thinking like this, these are very good opportunities to think that everything is the self. Then from the mind, the feeling of hatred, dislike, bitterness, all that goes. But that doesn't mean that where you have to bring in discipline, say children, you cannot allow them to do, or even in the office, sometimes you have to be stern, or even in the society, sometimes we have to be stern. You may be stern, but there should not be bitterness and dislike. Swamiji always tells us, first, own the person. That means, own the person means your own. Then you say, sometimes we have to say very, correct things, but which may not be very pleasing to the other person. How will we say? That person will not like, may come and fight with you also. But still we have to say. And suppose the other party has hurt you with words or arguments, there should not be any kind of bitterness in the mind. That is ahimsa. No bitterness. So, indriyartheshu vairagyam, not being passionate about sensory objects. Anahankaraha, freedom from egoism, that I am this, I am that. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. See, it's a big word. So, it says janma, mrityu. Janma, you know, birth. Mrityu is death. Jara is old age. Vyadhi is disease, dukkha, dosha. Dukkha, you know, unhappiness or misery. Dosha means the evils connected to or the torments connected to birth, death, old age, and disease. Anudarshanam, constantly living the life. Don't think the life is only for happiness and enjoyment. See all that is happening. Even when there is a birth, the birth may give lot of pleasure to people. But the same child, after some years, you will find it is autistic. Or the child dies at the age of 15, 16. So it can happen. So we should not be elated with anything. Similarly, we should not get depressed by anything. So in Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning itself, Krishna says, in 12th chapter also, that you should be sama dukkha sukha. Sama dukkha sukha, whether dukkha is there, sukha is there. And he also says, dukkheshu anudvigna manaha. When dukkha comes, unhappiness comes, misery comes, don't be disappointed. Don't get depressed. Know that it will come. Yesterday he explained very well. It will come in circles. Dukkheshu anudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spriha. Similarly, don't keep on inviting delight. Oh, I must have sukha. I must have sukha. It will not come. Dukkha will come also. Sukha will come also. Sometimes the dukkha period may be more. Sometimes the sukha period may be more. Know this is the reality. And make your mind equipoised. So, like that, in your life, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, that is old age will come. Old age will bring about disease, and whatever is associated with it will take place in anybody's life. Be prepared for it. And all the sufferings that these things bring. That, like today, somebody had come. I cannot do what I used to do. I lifted a lifted a TV along with my maid, and I had back problem. When the old age will come, you will not be able to do many things. So you have to reconcile with that. You cannot think that what I could do at the age of 40, I will be able to do at the age of 60. The body will undergo disease. So reconcile with it. Be prepared for it. And the affliction that you are getting, how I am not to get the affliction, how I can still remain unaffected, is only with the knowledge that I am actually the changeless soul. What is happening, all the changes that is happening to my body and not my soul. You understand? So all these things, that is why it is called spiritual qualities. Spiritual qualities, not only just qualities. Then 10th, asaktihi anabhishwangaha. Asaktihi, non-attachment, non-clinging to putra dara grihadishu. Anabhishwangaha. So asaktihi is non-attachment. Putra means son, daughter, children. Dara means wife. Griha, house. Adishu. Adishu means what? Your property, your wealth, your prestige, your name, your fame, your qualification, all that which you feel I have, my possession, my acquisition, and you want to hold on to it. Although we know that these are all going to go. Even if it doesn't go, you will go. All will remain, but you will go. Still, we do not wake up to the reality. So, asaktihi, make your mind not get so much possessive about it. Learn to be dispossessive. Whatever you can distribute to others, those who are in need, start giving them. So, and ishta anishta upapattishu nityam samachittatvam. And always Remain even-minded in favorable and unfavorable turn of events. So, in the turn of events which are favorable and unfavorable, ishta and anishta, nityam samachittatvam. Nityam means what? Always. Always, without break. Always keep an even mind. Then comes 11th. Mai chananya yogena bhaktirabhyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratirjana samsadi. Maicha ananya yogena abhyavicharini bhakti, unflinching devotion and yoga of exclusive loyalty to me. That to God, to Brahman, unflinching devotion. What is this unflinching devotion? We'll discuss in the next 2 days. And have exclusive loyalty. Vivikta desha sevitvam, the habit of seeking seclusion and finding joy in it. There is always, we feel alone. And somebody was saying, I feel alone. I want people around me. When we are alone, when not many people are there, actually that gives us the time to look into ourselves. But we get afraid. We feel that, oh, what will I do? What will I do? Children have grown. They have all gone. Husband goes to office. I am all alone. So go here, go there. So this habit of remembering myself, remembering that I am the self, and why should I remember? Again, I remind you, then we will go to that state where even if the greatest adversities, afflictions are there, we will remain unaffected. That is the promise of Krishna. And we don't want to get afflicted in our life at all. So if that is what is promised, we should try to remember this and cultivate these qualities. So sometimes we should be alone. Actually, you should choose to be alone at some time of the day, some time of the week, or some time of the month. Be alone. And if it is daily, you can meditate for some time. It will be very good. Then, Jana Samsadi. So, next we will do. Tomorrow, huh? Okay. So, I'll just chant these shlokas and then stop. Amanitvamadambhitvam ahimsa shantirajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamatma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam asaktiranabhishwangaha putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu mai chananya yogena bhaktiravyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratirjana samsadi adhyatma jnana nityatvam tatvajnanartha darshanam etadjnanamiti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha. At the end, Krishna, after listing all the 20 qualities, he says, this is jnana. Rest everything is ajnana. So you understand the importance of these qualities. So is it interesting for you? Would you like to know more about it? Okay. Okay. Sampurnam jagadevanandanavanam sarvepi kalpadrumaha gangam vari samasta vari nivaha punyas samasta kriyaha vachah prakrita samskrita shruti shiro varanasi medini sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya drishti parabrahmani sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya दृष्टि परब्रह्मणि. जय गुरु, जय गुरु.